Hey there, it's Kim Marie. I have a question for you. I want to talk about investing your time like you would invest your energy. And have you ever thought about what we do in a day and what your end game is, right? So some of us have goals, we make goals, and then we have an idea of what we want to accomplish at the end of the game. So then if you reverse engineer that, it's what steps would it take to reach that goal, right? That makes sense. Many people don't set goals and they don't even realize what their end game is. So it would be important to know what your core values are, what's most important to you. Because whether you know or are clear about them or not, they're still driving what you do. They're still driving your actions. But unfortunately, sometimes we are walking in the opposite direction of our goals and dreams without even realizing it because we are not investing in that direction. We're doing things that are out of integrity with our core values. And we feel that in our body. So when we feel some kind of dis-ease in our body, some kind of knots or feelings of tightness or feelings of lack or feeling misunderstood or feeling alone, then we're out of alignment. So we are walking in the opposite direction of our goals and dreams and don't even realize it. And I'm going to give you an example. I was working with a couple the other night, and she tends to work a lot, right? So no matter what, and I've worked with her for several years, and no matter what role, she's always moving up in the companies that she's worked for, and getting really well-esteemed positions. But no matter which position she's in her mindset somewhere, she's always behind the eight ball. She's always got to work really hard. Seems like harder than other people, not only in her field, but in her position. Now, her husband is in a similar role. He's also an engineer, and he's actually just a level higher than she is. And throughout the time that I've known them, he does not struggle with the same level of perfectionism and that same belief that she's got to work harder than everybody else. She's got to do more. And so she's got this illusion that there's an eight ball that she's always behind. And he doesn't have that. Now he has his own thing. His thing is that he wants that quality time, right? He never feels enough in the relationship. So it's interesting because the more she works, the more he does to try to take the load off of her plate. And then the more she gets frustrated at him, and the more he gets frustrated because his needs aren't being met. So it just goes round and round and round. And the truth is, if we reverse engineered it, then we would see that her top priorities, her main core values are family and health. But they're the things that when she's in this illusion, when she's in this, it's like an addiction mindset, that perfectionism. When she's in that mindset, the things that go away first, the things that she invests in last, are her health and her relationships. So we're doing this work. We do like a quarterly session to really connect with them, and then a lot of stuff came up in this session. And then I went through and processed with her yesterday, and she was very upset by some of the things that were brought to light. And I said, okay, so what do you want at the end of it? Because there's so much time in conversation, and conversation is not always the answer, right? Actions do speak louder than words, and sometimes words do get in the way. Not always, but sometimes. So I said, well, what do you want? Like, what kind of support do you need right now? What would soften your edges and get you back into the relationship mode? She said, I just would like to be held, like really held, like a big hug, like he means it. And now I know he means it, and I know that's what he would love more than anything. Actually, that's what he's been wanting the whole time. So I said, well, what if you were to do that? What if you were to say to him, you know what if we didn't talk? What if we just held each other? And what if you just gave him that hug that you need? And so that's reverse engineering it, because at the end of the day, sometimes all we really need is to be held, to be supported, to be told it's okay. So what if we were to look at what we actually needed, right? Because it's not that she's always feeling this way, but when she is in that illusion mindset, then she goes down a spiral and she neglects all the things that remind her of who she is, of her core values, and then she starts even picking on him about his health, about his food choices, about how he raises his kids, which is so interesting that we do that. It's our blind spot. It's the very thing that we do to ourselves that we see reflected in other people, and it's irritating. So she starts noticing that he's eating something that is not good for him, or he does something in a way with his children that she doesn't agree with. And it's funny because it's always in the times when she's neglecting those parts of herself, those parts of making her health a priority, her nutrition a priority, her relationships a priority. So that's how life works. It's a mirror. So rather than look outward at what someone else is doing wrong, or looking at the symptoms of, oh, I have a lot of work and I don't know how to have more time in a day, focus on the end game. What do you want? And go for the end game first, and then reverse engineer it. Go for the dessert and then eat the dinner and the appetizer. Because when you do that, when you go for the metaphor, when you go for the end game and you get that need met, then you are present, you are fueled, and you're going to be more efficient than you could ever be when running on empty. So go for the end game, do something to fuel that, and then take your next step and just keep moving forward. That's my message for today. I hope it was helpful. Have an amazing day. I love you.